Welcome to the Rutledge Perspective. I'm your host, Laurel Rutledge, and this show is where we talk about things that are top of mind as you navigate your career, whether corporate or otherwise. The plan is to get you out of your rut or talk you off the ledge with insights and perspectives on the daily grind. Welcome to the village. This episode of the Rutledge Perspective is a little bit different. In this month of perspectives and focusing on how we develop and deliver and change our perspective, this episode is about self-reflection and ownership of our own existence. Before we can show up authentically in our work of choice, we must know who we are at our core. From there stems our strength of understanding and our foundation for action. So before I get started in this podcast, I want you to do something for me. If you're not driving, I want you to find a place to really sit still for a minute. Take a bit to reflect on you, and not the you others have defined, but the you that you know exists. Sit with her. Give her space to be, and then listen to this episode. I want you to be strong and solid in standing in your own being and showing the world what you can do. So here we go. I was speaking with my counselor early this month. And in the conversation, something that we had identified together came up again as a conduit to another conversation. And in that moment, I realized what we were addressing speaks to the power of perspective, to how we see and treat ourselves and our ability to serve others under that premise. Now, I am not a person who puts a great deal of stock in horoscopes or astrological signs. It's just not my thing. I believe there are characteristics associated with each of these. And I believe that there are those who do have a very keen insight into this area of our existence. And that insight is a special gift. I also believe that this area of our existence is another way to try to understand and categorize our behaviors, both for ourselves and for those around us. Used wisely, this information can truly be insightful. Used unwisely, it can become a weapon for exclusion or dismissal, which is why I have a challenge sometimes with it. Now, all that being said, I am astrologically a Libra. And the older I get and the more I reflect on past interactions and behaviors, the more I realize just how much of a Libra I am. I crave balance. Balance in opinions, balance in actions, balance in all things. It's so important to the way I exist that it is the basis of my own self-reflection and evaluation. Constantly. When dealing with extremes, I'm very quick to take the opposite side, and not out of simple contrariness or need to argue, but because extremes, even my own, make me absolutely crazy. My own extremes manifest themselves in two completely different ways. On one side of my brain, that side is in constant chaos. So much to do, so little time, so many desires, so much interest, so many curiosities, so much life to live. And the other side of my brain that seeks all the order in everything is thinking, hey, I need to really understand and know how to design this strategy. I need to complete this process. I need to understand how it works and why, and ensure a viable plan B based on all the facts presented. Yin yang, chaos and order, existing completely at the same time in one brain. These two minds exist in me fully present at all times. At one time, a jack of all trades, master of none. At other times, a very clear and focused strategist and specialist. It can be an absolute nightmare, as the two are not easily reconciled. And then I had a revelation earlier this year. Who says I have to pick one? Why is reconciliation the ultimate goal? And by whose authority am I compelled to deny that which makes me, me? I decided to shift my perspective and just own the madness. Why? Because the madness is what gives me power to stand in my truth. It also makes me exceptionally good at what I do. I am able to ask questions that others can't or won't. I'm able to connect dots that others don't see. I'm able to pull out of someone the very thing that is causing them to be stuck. And I'm able to do this because I exist in this constant battle of curiosity and compliance. Genuine curiosity about everything and a deep desire to do the right thing. So I acknowledged my chaos and the beauty of its depth and its energy. I embraced the practical and the feelings of accomplishment when the list is completed. I keep a running list of all the things I want to do. I revisit that regularly because it reminds me of the power of curiosity and lifelong learning. And it reminds me of the impact I will have in my service to others through the experiences I gain through pursuing these various interests. And I move things from the chaos list onto the present attention list as I'm able to do so. I relish my process thinking and the way it enables me to serve. So no longer do I feel the need to bring the chaos to order, nor vice versa. It is the desire to fit in that causes us to work hard to control our differences, to manage our crazy. And instead of embracing that which makes us whole, we parse ourselves into pieces that are digestible to others, pieces that make others comfortable, pieces that make it easier for others to hear us. And while there's a certain level of assimilation that we all must endure, when that assimilation is to the detriment of our very being, we are doing ourselves and everyone around us a disservice. You, the whole you, are fearfully and wonderfully made. You have a divine purpose and gifts that are yours uniquely. Some of those gifts move in your professional circle. Some of those gifts move in your personal circle. And some of those gifts can transcend boxes and categories. And at the end of the day, all of those gifts deserve your acknowledgement. They all deserve a place in your daily existence because you are amazing the way you are. Now, since I know you took my direction and sat with yourself a minute, what are the things about you that you've been trying to change or manage that are actually the basis of your unique ability to serve? Share those in the comments below. We all have them, and our ability to share those gives others the ability to share theirs. Be courageous, be brave. Let other people know what your gifts are. And if you're stuck or are just looking for a different perspective, let's talk. Schedule an introductory call with me at laurelrutledge.com, and let's work together to get your mojo back. And that's the Rutledge Perspective in the middle of this month of perspectives. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time. You have been listening to the Rutledge Perspective. Thank you for tuning in. If we've given you a new perspective or helped you clarify your own, please like us on iTunes. You can find more information about this and other episodes of the show on laurelrutledge.com. And you can subscribe to the show where you get your favorite podcasts. You can also follow me on social media. Oh, and if there is someone you think would enjoy or benefit from the Rutledge Perspective, please pass it along.